Imagine this: a lone figure prowling the quiet, dimly lit streets of rural China, an unsettling shadow lurking in the corners of unsuspecting homes. His name? Yang Xinhai. His crimes? Chilling. Dubbed the Monster Killer, Yang Xinhai's reign of terror left a nation horrified and over 60 families shattered. Let's dive into this dark tale, not for the faint of heart, but for those who seek to understand the chilling depths of human depravity. The early years, a storm brewing. Born in 1968, Yang Xinhai grew up in a small, impoverished village in Henan Province, China. His early life was marked by hardship and alienation. The youngest of 4 siblings, Yang was reportedly highly intelligent but socially withdrawn. His family lived in abject poverty, and the pressure of their circumstances weighed heavily on him. Yang's peers often described him as quiet and introverted, traits that seemed to deepen as he grew older. Despite his intelligence, Yang's academic performance was inconsistent and his behavior became increasingly erratic. He dropped out of school at 17, a decision that marked the beginning of a downward spiral. His forays into the adult world were marred by a series of menial jobs, failed relationships, and petty crimes. These early experiences fostered a deep sense of alienation and bitterness, laying the groundwork for the dark path he would later tread. The making of a monster. By the late 1990s, Yang's petty crimes escalated to violent offenses. He was imprisoned multiple times for theft and attempted sexual assault. His time behind bars seemed to harden him further, stripping away any remnants of empathy or remorse. Upon his release in 1999, Yang abandoned any pretense of rehabilitation. He began wandering across provinces, a drifter with no ties and no purpose, beyond his growing hatred for society. Yang's methods were as calculated as they were ruthless. He targeted rural areas, where homes were isolated and security measures were minimal. His movements were erratic, spanning multiple provinces, making him difficult to trace. This transient lifestyle allowed him to commit crimes with impunity, leaving a trail of destruction that authorities struggled to piece together. A horrific modus operandi. Over a span of just 3 years, from 2000 to 2003, Yang Xinhai claimed the lives of at least 67 people, though the actual number could be higher. His method of operation was chillingly systematic. By day, he would scout remote villages, identifying homes that appeared vulnerable. He favored houses with limited visibility from neighbors and those where occupants were unlikely to raise an alarm. Under the cover of darkness, Yang would strike. He typically carried a hammer, axe, or similar blunt instrument, which he often found on site. His attacks were brutal and efficient, aimed at neutralizing his victims swiftly. Yang's lack of discrimination was particularly shocking. He targeted men, women, and children alike, often wiping out entire families to eliminate witnesses. In some cases, he committed sexual assaults before or after the murders, adding another layer of horror to his crimes. What set Yang apart from other serial killers was not just his body count, but his complete lack of remorse. During his trial, he showed no emotion, reportedly stating, "When I killed people, I had no feelings at all. It was like killing chickens." This cold detachment unnerved even seasoned law enforcement officers and psychologists. The capture, an end to the nightmare. Yang's reign of terror came to an end on November 3, 2003. He was apprehended during a routine police check in Kangzhou, Hebei province. Authorities initially detained him for suspicious behavior, but his calm demeanor and evasive answers raised red flags. A fingerprint match soon confirmed their suspicions. They had captured China's most prolific serial killer. Once in custody, Yang confessed to his crimes with chilling candor. He provided detailed accounts of his killings, describing each act with a level of detachment that left investigators stunned. DNA evidence and physical clues from crime scenes corroborated his confessions, leaving no doubt about his guilt. During his trial in 2004, Yang's demeanor remained unchanged. He showed no interest in defending himself, expressing neither remorse nor a desire for leniency. The court sentenced him to death, and he was executed by firing squad on February 14, 2004. His execution brought an end to a nightmare, but the scars he left on countless families and communities remain. The aftermath. A nation reflects. Yang Xinhai's case sent shockwaves through China, prompting a national conversation about crime in rural areas and the psychological factors driving such heinous acts. The sheer brutality of his crimes exposed significant vulnerabilities in rural security systems, particularly in areas where transient populations were common and law enforcement resources were stretched thin. The case also highlighted the challenges of identifying and addressing individuals at risk of violent behavior. Forensic psychologists who studied Yang's case pointed to his troubled upbringing and social isolation as contributing factors. However, they also noted that his level of violence and lack of empathy were rare, even among serial killers. Yang's crimes defied easy categorization, leaving experts grappling with questions about the nature of evil and the limits of human understanding. In response to public outcry, authorities implemented measures to improve rural security, including increased patrols and the installation of surveillance systems. Community programs aimed at fostering social cohesion and mental health awareness also gained traction, though the effectiveness of these initiatives remains a topic of debate. The psychology of a killer. What drives a person to commit such unspeakable acts? In Yang's case, his early life offers some clues. A childhood marked by poverty, isolation, and a lack of emotional support likely contributed to his deep-seated anger and resentment. His intelligence, coupled with his inability to form meaningful social connections, may have exacerbated his feelings of alienation. Why do we look into the darkness? Stories like Yang Xinhai's are undeniably horrifying, yet they capture our collective imagination. Perhaps it's a morbid curiosity, a need to understand the why behind such unthinkable acts. Or maybe it's a cautionary tale, reminding us of the thin line between order and chaos. Yang Xinhai's story is a grim reminder of the evil that can lurk beneath the surface. It's a tale of a man who turned his personal demons into a nightmare for an entire nation. As we reflect on his horrifying legacy, we're left with more questions than answers. And perhaps that's the most unsettling part of all. While much of the focus has been on Yang Xinhai's crimes and psyche, it's crucial to remember the lives he destroyed. His victims were ordinary people, families with dreams, aspirations, and loved ones. Their stories deserve to be told, not just as a footnote to Yang's brutality, but as a testament to the human cost of violence. By honoring their memories, we affirm our commitment to preventing such tragedies in the future. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Until next time.